हेलो लिटरेरी एंथुसियास्ट, आई एम अंडरडॉग एंड वेलकम टू माय चैनल। आज की हमारी वीडियो का टाइटल है द ग्रीक माइथोलॉजी एंड आई होप दिस वीडियो विल बी हेल्पफुल फॉर यू इन अंडरस्टैंडिंग द ग्रीक माइथोलॉजी, क्योंकि ग्रीक माइथोलॉजी थोड़ी सी कॉम्प्लेक्स हो जाती है एंड मैंने कोशिश की है कि I make you understand the concepts and the theories very well as per my knowledge. So please like and subscribe if you do find this video helpful. The Greek mythology. So it is a canon which is very famous and very popular, and it is a very important chapter, a very important domain to be studied in any literature examination concerning the MA English entrance examination as well as for the UGC NET perspective. So today we will study Greek mythology. The Greek mythology, like the Indian mythology, dealt with various gods and characters. Since mostly we are Indians and we know the Indian mythology and how it is various gods and goddesses, and each god and goddess represent a value or they represent a significant characteristic. The gods in Indian mythology are very idiosyncratic. Similarly, the Greek mythology has also very specific gods which deals with specific things. So we are going to juxtapose study the Greek mythology and the Indian mythology. इससे क्या होगा कि हमें ये पर्सपेक्टिव थोड़ा और समझ आने लगेगा, क्योंकि हम एक अनफेमिलियर चीज़ पढ़ रहे हैं या हम ऐसी चीज़ पढ़ रहे हैं जो हमने कभी देखी नहीं है, या हम ये कह सकते हैं कि मोस्ट ऑफ अस haven't experienced all these literatures or all these monuments और या जो भी चीज़ें जो ग्रीक लिटरेचर से एसोसिएट करती हैं. And for few of us, this might be the very first exposure to the Greek mythology. So, beginning it very steady and very grounding. तो अब हम शुरुआत करते हैं. तो सबसे पहले चीज़ आती है क्रिएशन. किसी भी चीज़ की क्रिएशन कैसे होती है. ओके, हम लोग इसके बिल्कुल ही बिगिनिंग में जाएंगे. इफ़ यू टेक अप द इंडियन माइथोलॉजी, हमारी इंडियन माइथोलॉजी क्या कहते हैं कि शिवा द जनरेटर, द ऑपरेटर एंड डिस्ट्रॉयर, शिव जी के डमरू से संसार की रचना हुई है. ओके, वी हैव अ थॉट अबाउट दैट. नाउ this was concerning the Indian mythology. Now we also have many goddesses. I'm not very familiar with the canons, but this is the basic ideology कि एक संसार था, संसार में बहुत chaos था and धीरे धीरे चीज़ें आगे बढ़ती गई और संसार का सृष्टि में सारी चीज़ें ऐड होती चली गई. Now concerning the biblical mythology, Christian mythology में क्या होता है? If we refer to the Christian theology, which is also written over here, that the gap or the abyss is created by the separation of heaven and earth. So the Christian mythology has two significant concepts, which is of heaven and earth. तो Christian mythology में क्या होता है? हम पढ़ते हैं उत्पत्ति की किताब. अगर हम इसे इंग्लिश में कहें तो the book of Genesis, and the book of Genesis deals with how the world originated, या संसार की रचना परमेश्वर पिता God the Father ने कैसे की है. So the Genesis in the Bible deals with the creation of mankind. So if I will get you into the detail, if I get into the briefing, I would say कि 6 दिन, हफ्ते में 7 दिन होते हैं, तो 6 दिन प्रभु ने संसार बनाया. God the Father built everything and on the 7th day he took rest. This is written in the Bible. So we talked about the Indian mythology, we talked about the biblical, and we talked about the Christian mythology. Now we are moving on to the Greek, and they believed that everything originated from the chaos. What is chaos? Chaos is the mythological void state preceding the creation of universe in Greek myth. तो we are calling it a myth. जैसे हम Indian mythology में कुछ चीज़ें हो सकती है कि हाँ ये सही है, कुछ चीज़ें हो सकती है कि हाँ ये गलत है. So there's nothing very concrete or hard which is established. Okay. So if you look at the figures, आप ये फिगर देखो, you can see the creation of universe, है ना. You can see कि universe बना है, it's an elliptical path. इस path को हम elliptical कहते हैं, coil shaped. Okay. So you can also see there's a gap, है ना. यहाँ पे gapping की बात की जा रही है. If you see over here, you can see to the gap or the abysses created by the separation of heaven and earth. So this is a figure which represents, okay, ग्रीक मिथ में ना, ग्रीक माइथोलॉजी में देर आर वेरियस सिम्बल्स, ठीक है, बहुत सिम्बॉलिक है. इफ़ यू हैव द टाइम एंड आफ्टर दिस लेक्चर यू प्लीज़ गो एंड सर्च कि अलग अलग सिम्बल्स का क्या मतलब है. दिस विल हेल्प यू in getting the concepts very clear and crystal clear. Now, personified as female, primal feature of the universe and a shadowy realm of mass and energy. So you can see over here, this is chaos. अगर chaos को हम represent करते हैं एक figure में, तो chaos कुछ ऐसी रहेंगे जिनसे संसार की उत्पत्ति हुई. The creation of universe took place. She is a female. She is personified in the Greek myths as a female. So this was about the initiation or the creation part. You take up any mythology, हर mythology में एक creation होता है. Okay, until unless creation नहीं होगा, the first threshold जब तक आप नहीं पार करोगे, आप कैसे बाकी चीज़ों में जाओगे? So the creation is the basic and the most important thing. Now moving on. अब तो chaos आई पहले, chaos was formed. Okay, now she gave birth or she created 3 primordial gods. Okay, first will be Gaia, then it's Tartarus and then this Eros. और फिर आते हैं Nyx जो कि later है the goddess of night. Now there might be many speculations and many interpretations that you'll find on the internet and you'll find on the various sources, but we'll stick to the things which are very important with the literary perspective, क्योंकि we are not here students of philosophy, है ना, we are students of literature. So we'll study only those theories or only those important concepts which deals with literature. So we'll go with Gaia. तो गाया जी की शादी हुई किससे? यूरानस से. Okay, and यूरानस कहते हैं कि इनके सन हैं. Although this is a very debatable thing, because I have found many resources who do not claim that Gaia married her son. Okay, तो ये debatable चीज़ है, so we will not focus on that debate. तो गाया की शादी होती है यूरानस से. Okay, and she bore children, and from Gaia's subsequent union with Uranus were born the Titans, the Cyclops and the Hecatoncius. Okay, now the Titans is which is important to us now. If you look at Gaia, ये है Mother Gaia. Okay, you can see Earth over here. You can see कि क्या है? She represents. If you take up the Indian mythology, Gaia मतलब Mother Goddess. Okay, Mother Earth. She married Uranus. Who is Uranus? The king of heaven. तो देख सकते हो बादल बादल काफ़ी सिंबॉलिक है. अगेन आई टोल्ड यू पीपल कि जो ग्रीक मिथ है, जो ग्रीक माइथोलॉजी है, इज़ वेरी सिंबॉलिक. अगर आप जितने फिगर्स को देखोगे ना, यू विल फाइंड वेरियस सिंबॉलिज्म. इतना डिफिकल्ट नहीं है ग्रीक माइथोलॉजी अंडरस्टैंड करना. इफ़ यू जस्ट पिक अप थिंग्स, यू हैव टू बी वेरी इमेजिनेटिव. ओके, देन वी हैव Tartarus, who is the god of the underworld. Look at him, what a figure he is. लग रहा है ना कोई anime character है. Now we have Eros, who is the god of love. Okay, and इनके बारे में हमने काफ़ी works पढ़े हैं, and there are many things which are based in him. Then we have Nyx, who is the goddess of night. Very significant. आप figure देख के भी अंदाज़ा लगा पा रहे हो that she is a goddess of night. So these are the primary figures. Now coming to the generation. Okay, so we have chaos, and we have Tartarus, we have Gaia, we have Nyx, and we have Eros. तो बाकी सारे descriptions important नहीं है. What is the important figure here is Gaia. Okay, now Gaia is the god of earth. Yes, and Uranus is the god of heaven. अब यूरानस के भी नाम में काफ़ी सारे डेविएशंस है. देयर आर मेनी डेविएशंस व्हिच यू कैन फाइंड इन द स्पेलिंग्स, इन द प्रोनाउंसिएशन ऑफ द गॉड एंड गॉडेसेस दैट आई एम प्रोनाउंसिंग. वट एवर आई एम प्रोनाउंसिंग, आई एम अगेन एंड अगेन सेइंग दिस बिकॉज these are my interpretations. Okay, I cannot pronounce the word how the Greeks used to pronounce, and I'll try to make it as close as to the real pronunciation. But for the sake of this video, I am pronouncing the words I think is appropriate, and my basic aim is to remember the correct spellings. Okay, so please do check out the spellings, and if that fits you, please continue watching the video. So Gaia and Uranus had mated, okay, and they gave the second generation was born, which is called the Titans. So we talked about, or we kind of interpreted the first generation. The first generation में कौन थे? They were the basic creational figures, जैसे earth, mountains थे first generation में. अब आते हैं second generation. The second generation which was born out of Gaia and Uranus. Now next. Now this is a very interesting part. इसमें हमें सब नहीं पढ़ना है, but I will still give you a little briefing about every god so that we get an overall perspective, and we'll focus on the main point. So first we get Oceanus. नाम से काम का पता चल रहा है that he is belonging, he has something to do with ocean. So he is the god of sea and water. So you can see what a figure he is. Okay. Now coming to Coeus. Okay. He is the god of oracle, wisdom and foresight. You can see him that he is the god of wisdom and foresight. Now next we have Crius, who is the god of constellation. Again, you can look at the figure over here. He is the god of constellation. Then we have Hyperion. Hyperion, do you remember this word Hyperion? Yes, it might remind you of some writer of the Romantic period. If you remember, please write down in the comment section. Hyperion is the god of light and observation. What a figure he is, okay? Now next we have Apetus, who is the god of mortal life and god of death. What a masculine, like what a figure he is. He is the like personification of mortal life and death. Now we have Cronus, the Titan ruler of the universe, and he is the youngest of the Titans, okay? And this figure might be very disturbing, or this might look disturbing, and that's the reason why we're going to discuss this fellow in a few moments. Then we have, okay, please do notice in this figure, I have mentioned all the male gods, okay, in blue color, and I've mentioned all the female goddesses in रेड कलर. ओके, तो आप देख सकते हो कि यहाँ पे 6 का डिविजन है. 3 गॉड्स और देर आर 6 गॉड्स, ओके, हु आर मेल, एंड देर आर 6 गॉडेसेस हु आर फीमेल. ओके, तो 6. नाउ गाया एंड यूरानस हैड 12. दे गेव बर्थ टू 12 टाइटेनियंस एंड they were 6 males and 6 females. So now we discussed all the males Titanian. Now we'll talk about the female Titanians, okay? So first we have Thea, the goddess of sun and light. Then we have Rhea, the goddess of fertility. We have Themis, who is the goddess of law, order and justice. And then we have Mnemosyne, who is the goddess of memory. We have Phoebe, who is the Titan goddess of prophecy and intellect. Then we have Tethys, who is the goddess of fresh water. So these are the basic classification, the second generation of the Greek mythology, which is called the Titans. Now coming to the points, okay, these Titans lived in earth and had power, strength and knowledge. तो इनके पास काफ़ी सारे powers होते थे, strength होती थी और knowledge होती थी. Now they are what? They are immortal. ये मर नहीं सकते, ओके, ये इमॉर्टल हैं. टाइटन्स लिव्ड इन माउंट ऑथरियस, ओके, ये इस माउंटेन पे रहते थे. एंड द मिथ ऑफ क्रोनस, अब ये जो क्रोनस नाम का कैरेक्टर था whom we talked about, इनके ऊपर एक मिथ बेस्ड है, ओके. So we were talking about the myth of Cronus, and he was the youngest Titan, जो सबसे youngest Titan थे. Now we're talking about the myth. Now there was a prophecy about him that he will be killed by his own son. So he ate his sons as they were born. If you look at this picture, look at this figure, Cronus, ये अपने बच्चों को खा लेता था. ओके, क्यों खाता था? क्योंकि इसके बारे में एक प्रोफेसी थी. प्रोफेसी का मतलब होता है भविष्यवाणी. इसके बारे में ये भविष्यवाणी थी कि इसे इसके खुद की औलाद, इसके खुद के बेटे मारेंगे. ओके, तो इस डर से ये क्या करता था, खुद ही खुद के बच्चों को ये खा जाता था. व्हाट अ फादर ही इज, है ना. कितनी बुरी बात है, लेकिन दैट्स द मिथ. ओके, अब रिया कौन थी? अभी हमने रिया के बारे में डिस्कशन किया. टॉकिंग अबाउट हियर रिया, लुक एट रिया जो कि गॉडेस ऑफ फर्टिलिटी है. ओके, नाउ रिया हु वाज द वाइफ ऑफ क्रोनस आस्क्ड फॉर हेल्प टू हर मदर गाया. तो जो रिया थी उन्होंने प्रेयर किया. किसको प्रेयर किया? अपनी माँ को कौन? माँ गाया. ओके, द मदर अर्थ, द गॉडेस. तो रिया एंड गाया कंस्पायर्ड, उन्होंने कुछ प्लान किया और क्या किया कि एक बच्चे को बचा लिया. सारे बेटों में से उन्होंने एक बच्चा बचा लिया जो कि था, आगे चलकर वो क्या बना ज़्यूस. सो नाउ यू नो कि ज़्यूस का जन्म कैसे हुआ था. आगे चल के ही बिकेम द किंग ऑफ द ग्रीक गॉड्स, द ग्रेट ज़्यूस. नाउ रिया तो इस बच्चे को बचा लेगी. नाउ रिया हैड हिड दैट किड, बट नाउ शी हैज़ टू प्रेजेंट द किड टू क्रोनस. उसको तो दिखाना पड़ेगा ना कि हाँ मेरा बेटा हुआ था, ये मेरा बेटा है, आई एम ऑफरिंग इट टू यू. सो what she did is Rhea fed Cronus a rock wrapped in a cloth instead of a child, and Cronus ate that rock. Okay, so this was the myth of Cronus, and with this we come to the end of the second generation. तो अब हम second generation के discussion को end करते हैं यहाँ से. And now Zeus will become the king of all the Greek gods, and he will begin the third generation, which we call the Olympians, and that would be another discussion. If you are looking for MA English literature classes for your entrance examinations, I do give tuition classes, and if you want to be a part of the tuition classes, please join in the teachment link which is given in the description box of the channel as well as of this video, and we shall meet each other there. Thank you. Thank you for watching the video, and please stay to the next part. And if you do find this video a little bit helpful, please don't mind subscribing and liking, and बाकी बातें comment section में. Thank you.